Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey guys, it's Adam here. On the last couple of episodes of Flying and Eating, I went out to Anchorage, Alaska with the evil Rob Thanos. After having a whole bunch of fun, wandering around, eating a bunch of stuff, day 3 rolled around, and I really checked out, and then Rob went on to a separate adventure.
So we are continuing with day 3 in Anchorage, Alaska. A quick status update. Adam might be dead. Truthfully, I did not check on him long enough to confirm that. We might check in with him later to see what he's up to. But it is a beautiful day out, and I have decided to try biking the Alaskan Coastal Trail outside of Anchorage. Hopefully see some cool wildlife, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm on my coastal trail bike ride, and kind of have like a great view of the Pacific Ocean here. You can't really see it because it's a little bit too cloudy, but right over here is going to be Denali, or otherwise known as Mount McKinley. It's the largest, tallest mountain in North America. And if it was a little bit, a little bit less hazy, you could probably see it from here. But if you turn this way, you can see all the way up there is Anchorage, where I started. So it's an amazing coastal bike trail. And from here, you can actually see a lot of the planes taking off from Anchorage Airport. If you can see, it looks like a plane's about to take off in a second. So I think it might actually pass right over us. So we should have a really cool view. Flying and eating, baby! Woo! Alright, here's a cargo plane taking off. As Adam mentioned, Anchorage is one of the busiest shipping airports in the world. And you can see why. Holy shit, guys. That is a fucking moose. Yeah, so you can see how big that thing is standing next to that street sign over there. Absolutely massive. I do a lot of driving for my music industry job, and that is the only thing that scares me on a road, is coming in across one of those things. Absolutely crazy. It's the first time I've ever seen one in person. The guide actually said that we'd probably see moose on this trail, so we might actually even see more. Who knows? Made it. This is about a 10-mile bike ride, and this is Kincaid Point behind me. You can see a bunch of soccer fields, and there's kind of a like a rest stop chalet behind me. Amazing view up here. Definitely worth the trek up the mountain.
Good morning. We're alive.
You're alive.
You are too.
Well, I survived my moose encounter on my bike ride.
We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I've been kind of out of commission for like 2 days. I barely know what the hell's happening. Apparently we got ramen yesterday. I don't even really remember it. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. Massive jet lag, combination of the edible, probably wasn't a great idea. Sorry, because that kind of hurt the video. But we'll come back, we'll do more. We'll have to have a rental car at some point so we can show you more things. Yeah. Either way, on this guy, had some sleepwalking problems. First night we were here, he got up and started yelling at our suitcases, thinking they were under attack.
Your suitcase. I just brought a backpack.
Either way, he was yelling at them, and then he like realized they weren't under attack. Last night, he fell out of bed, woke my ass up, and then I turn over and he's yelling at me to turn on his flashlight 'cause he's trying to go dirt bike racing. And I was like, what are you talking about? Turn on your flashlight, I need to go dirt bike racing. All right. And then he told me to go fuck myself, and then he laid down.
I mean, it's true. Adam can go fuck himself.
There you go. Anyway, so now we're heading back into town. We're going to go get some more food. We're going to go to the 49th Brewery and get you guys that yak burger so you guys can see what that's all about. Then we're going to go do a few other things, and we'll see what kind of adventure awaits.
So last night while Adam was asleep, I went for that bike ride, as you saw, but I also stopped here for dinner. This was recommended to me by some locals called Cafe Paris. Really, really good, kind of French-style steakhouse. I had an amazing ribeye in there last night and met some really fun people. So, highly recommended if you come to Anchorage.
We are back at 49th State Brewery. Today we have one goal. We're going to show you guys that yak burger, and actually he's going to show you the elk burger. So you're going to see both of these exotic burgers, and then we're going to split each one in half, kind of like that Canadian island that's now half Canada, half Denmark. Congratulations, you guys, you have a mutual border. And we'll both enjoy these weird burgers. Our food has arrived. Here it is, the infamous yak burger. So great yak meat, which again tastes a lot like ground beef. And of course it's got our cheese and our bacon and all sorts of things. It comes with tater tots. And you got the...
I got the elk smash burger, which has chipotle mayo, onions, and I forget which cheese. But this is more along the lines of like a venison. Burger was really good. It's kind of like venison, like deer meat. A little bit more lean, not gamey, but it was really, really good. I didn't care for the tater tots. I mean, honestly, beef french fries would be nothing. I think a lot of restaurants are kind of leaning into the hipster, like, cafeteria food thing. They tasted like middle school, and I didn't really care for them. But the burger, it was great.
I have to echo his thoughts on the tater tots. That was straight out of middle school. I don't know what that was all about. They were not great. I even went so far as to put ketchup and everything on. I was like, can't do this. The burger itself, quite good. It was saltier than I remember it being. That might just be the way they spiced it, but yak burger's pretty good. If you're ever up here, we highly recommend this place for a bunch of different potential food options, but they definitely have the more exotic stuff if you're up here just to try different things. Here's something I remember from when I was a kid. First time I was up here, this was when I was 13 years old, this was number 50. We did this state together as a family, my sister, my mom, and I, because this was the only state my mom had never been to. So we decided we had to do this all together. Yes, when I was 13, I hit all 50 states. It took a while before I got to the territories, but yeah. Now, on that trip, my mom wanted to see all of Alaska. My mom was way more adventurous than I am. And you think I'm nuts with all the travel? Like, I got like 10% of that, of what my mom had. But anyway, so up here, outside of Anchorage, the majority of the state is not really all that interconnected. Like, there is a road system, but typically the most efficient thing to do is actually, and you'll have seen them possibly in some of the footage and heard it from time to time, little regional Cessna type aircraft. Every town has airstrips. So when I was a kid and we did this trip, we would just take one plane from town to town and spend a few days there and move on. I remember as a kid thinking that was so absurd that I actually kept track of it. It was 24 flights all the way from Chicago throughout the entire state and all the way back. This trip, not as many, obviously, but yeah. So get used to that if you want to see other parts of this state. Because again, I can't stress this enough, Alaska is massive. Massive, but amazing. Beautiful state. And if you ever get the chance, go to places like Denali National Park and watch the bears just like claw salmon. It's a great time.
Dinner stop for our final night. It's called Yamaya Seafood, and it is a Japanese place. As we said, there's a lot of Japanese places here in Anchorage, but this one is really, really interesting. I've heard it's super kind of weird, kind of authentic. The owner and chef's a little bit crazy. He like sings karaoke, and the menu's like written on the walls and changes daily. I've heard like people rave about this place as like the best food in the city, and I've heard people trash it. So we're kind of here to decide whether or not that's the case.
and we'll let you know.
So we have pork belly skewers, really, really kind of nice fatty pork. Excellent food.
Okay, so the pork belly stuff was amazing. We just,
Inhaled it.
inhaled it. It was very, very good. What do you got here?
Some more karaage fried chicken. Really, really good. And after yesterday, some hot sake.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
So this is the perfect pour.
I don't know, the camera's not focusing on it, so I don't think it agrees.
Yeah, well, the camera's wrong.
All right, our sashimi bowls have arrived. Look at that, we got some tuna and salmon. I can't even tell. I know some octopus in there. Mackerel.
Yellowtail.
Yeah.
Oh,
This looks fantastic.
looks
This looks so nice. Okay, so this is the mackerel, right? This was so good that I had to point it out, and then he just had his first bite and like lost his mind.
It's salty and sweet, and it's like if you don't like fishy fish, like this is not for you. But it's like I love this shit, so this is fantastic. So good.
It's so good, man. This is so good.
Oh god, this place is great.
Yeah, this place is like god tier. This is amazing.
Really good food.
Well.
Well.
That was phenomenal. So we have to emphasize this point. This place is run by one
dude.
One dude.
He's cooking everything. He's serving you. He's running. He's the owner. Just one guy. The reviews that we found said like there were incredibly positive reviews, and then there were like negative reviews saying like, oh, it kind of took forever, or like it was like they turned us away at the door. And we see why. It's literally one guy.
Yeah, it's one guy. And it says on the door, by the way, if you have 3 people or more, you need to call ahead because he cannot accommodate you.
Yeah.
So it's just the 2 of us, so for us it wasn't a big deal. But we saw that happen. Like 3 people walked in a group, he's like, no, you gotta leave. I don't have, there's no way. He just couldn't do it.
Ironically, they were Japanese, too.
Yeah,
so it's
it wasn't even like a cultural thing.
No.
It was just, I can't physically handle you.
Yeah.
So if you come in 2 or less, you're fine, unless you call ahead for some sort of order, which we recommend. We were actually, smart play on his part. It was, let's be there when the door opens. So we were the first ones in, technically the first ones out. Mm-hmm. This is a place you go to really, truly enjoy the food because it was phenomenal. It will take your time, and that is not a bad thing. It is very, very good.
For me, the pork belly was the MVP. That was very incredibly well seasoned.
The chicken was very good. The pork belly was great, and the sashimi.
Mackerel.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. This would be a huge recommendation from both of us.
Yes.
A little expensive, but you know that going in. Takes your time, you know that going in. If you want cheap, fast garbage, go to McDonald's. So Rob and I have gone our separate ways for the evening. Personally, I was craving something kind of sweet, so I'm going out. I'm going to take you over to that cake place, the AK Cakes, whatever, Alaska Cakes, because I think it's time. I think we need to go get one of those. I remember them being fantastic. Meanwhile, Rob has other plans. You can actually see Rob over there. Yeah, there he is. What a jerk. Yeah, this certainly reminds me of the other night. Ugh. People have asked me in my Discord just how prevalent is marijuana up in Alaska. And I said, it does come up a little bit at the time. It's around.
So on my solo alcohol adventure without Adam, I was recommended this place by a local last night. It's called Fiore Di Italia, and Italian restaurant, but supposedly it has one of the top-rated whiskey bars in all of the United States. So I'm really excited to check it out.
So here's what I ended up getting. Some sort of tart thing, and I don't know. I know, very descriptive, but I wanted something relatively small, so I got that. This kind of has like a fudge cheesecake with like a cookie bit base. Yeah, this is good. This is kind of unique, actually, the more I sit here on this. That seems to be a little bit of spice. I don't think I've ever really had spice in a dessert before. It's interesting. It's good. I'm not used to it, though. It's nice. This is very good. I think it's like a raspberry tart type of thing, but with this nice creamy thick layer there. Some man, I don't actually know what's in it. It's kind of like well, it's a tart, basically, so it's like a mini pie almost. Very good. This place has never let me down before. Between the two, this was the winner. This was very, very good. The other one was good too. This was better. This is exactly the type of thing I was craving. It dawned on me, though, that I called it raspberry. I'm pretty sure it was actually cranberries.
So I'm leaving Fiore's, and oh my god, one of the most incredible whiskey experiences I have ever had. Just a curated experience. The bartender, Eli, knew his stuff. He was able to give incredible recommendations. I had a couple scotches, American whiskey. He let me try ones that he was really liking. It was fantastic. Highly recommended. I know Adam isn't really big on alcohol. I certainly am, and this is a giant thumbs up from me. Fiore's Di Italian in Anchorage. Check it out.
Good morning, everyone. It is my last day here in Anchorage, at least until next time. I'm up. Ironically, Rob is asleep, but if you saw his adventures last night, you'll get why he wanted to sleep a little bit more. Anyway, so I want to go get a little bit of breakfast, and there's a place I specifically wanted to check out that I wanted to check out last time I was here, but it was closed the entire time. Today it's open, so yeah, we're going to go hit that up. Right here, the Alaska Crepery. This is what I wanted to see. I don't know, I was feeling a crepe. And I don't know why I thought that Alaska could do a good job with that, but yeah, if you look at it, it looks like it got some cool exotic stuff. So we'll see what we find. And so here it is. I got the French toast crepe. As you can see, they have a ton of great options up there. I thought about a savory. The Alaskan reindeer seemed enticing, but I wanted sweet, and this just hit. I'm going for it. This was kind of awesome. I wasn't expecting it. As soon as I cut into it, just like exploded with strawberries. But of course, you know, it's powdered sugar and it's got cinnamon on it, so you got to be careful because that'll of course get on your clothes. I'm wearing all black, but you know, I'll be careful. So there's a layer of brie cheese throughout. It really complements it really well. The only thing I messed up, I breathed in some of the powdered sugar, but man, this is really good. Oh man, this place was fantastic. That's a huge variety of really good crepe options. If you're ever up here, really nice little breakfast spot. It's also, they do a lot of savory ones, so it also functions as a nice little lunchtime type of thing. I'm not gonna lie, like after I finished that one, I was like, I could totally go for another. I would've got the Snickers one. Then my girlfriend, the better half, she was like, you're gonna have other food and not long now, you fat ass. I was like, that's a good point. Anyway, I would have done it, but then I thought, no, she's right. Plus, as I sat there, it did kind of settle more, and I was like, okay, you know what? I feel good. I feel settled. I feel like this was enough amount of food. So, highly recommend this place if you're up in Anchorage. This is a great little spot. So as I'm standing here in the street illegally for a second, I wanted to make a point. So right here, what you see is the mall. And down there is what you see is the convention center, okay? So this whole area is like the big touristy business hub type of section of the city. To give you a sense of how chill Anchorage is in his layout, only a few lights down is the area that's too far away. That's, you know, that's nowhere near the town. That's way down there. That's where our hotel is. But that's like a 10-minute walk between the two. The only way I can really explain Anchorage from a tourist perspective, and keep in mind I'm not from here, this is a tourist perspective. This is like a major American city that feels like a small town. It's like this weird fusion, and it's awesome. That's why I was saying before that the city that I can compare it the most to is Astoria, Oregon. Because Astoria, Oregon is like well known mostly because of movies that are filmed there, such as The Goonies and Free Willy, Ninja Turtles 3, etc. A lot of people know Astoria, but nobody's ever really been there because it also is actually a small town with a very small population, etc. Anchorage is like, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a massive city, but it is a big one. It's the biggest one in the geographically biggest state in the Union. And as time goes on, this city is going to get bigger and more powerful. Like, trust me on that one. As the Northwest Passage continues to open up, as let's just say political tensions continue to be what they are in Russia, this will be that and the Asians and the Europeans, if they want to get to each other, unless they are friendly to Russia for one reason or another, they basically have to go through Alaska now. which will drive in economic traffic. If you don't know much about the history of how aviation changed this city originally and typically changes cities around the world, airport traffic brings in a lot of economic activity and a lot of population drive. It's just a historical fact. And Anchorage's time is coming again, and it's going to be much more significant now, because unlike last time where it was kind of a temporary thing, this is going to be a lot longer and a lot more permanent given the Northwest Passage. So I'm sitting here in 2022 enjoying this place in the moment for what it is, knowing full well it's going to get bigger, it's going to expand, and in a few years this video might look quaint and ridiculous. Remember how small Anchorage used to be? It's hard to say. We don't know how long that'll take, but just kind of wanted to document that and explain how it felt at this point in this time period. Wonderful city. Highly recommend people come and check this out, especially to those of us and the rest of my fellow Americans who never make the trek up to Alaska because you think it's perpetual snow. It's not. You know, there's flowers. I mean, that's not the best ones, but come here in the summer if you're afraid of the cold. I'm with you on that one. But this is a very great city to visit. Lots of amazing food. I mean, Rob's mind was completely blown by all of the Japanese cuisine we had that was just like next level stuff. I apologize for all the cars. Obviously nothing I can really do about that, but yeah, don't sleep on Anchorage, guys. Come on up to this place. Check it out and enjoy it. All I'm trying to say is, as I said in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, CNMI, Puerto Rico, etc., my fellow Americans, your country is much bigger and much more vast and much more full of things for you to experience than you may typically think about or even be aware of. If you are an American, you have access to every type of topography, every type of geography, every type of culture, every type of resource. Do you want to go skiing? Do you want to be in a desert? Do you want to be on a beach? Do you want to go mountain climbing? Do you want to do anything? Do you want to live in a super city? Do you want to live by yourself surrounded by 20 miles of forest? You have all of those choices because of how big and vast America is. For better or for worse, that's what happened. And Alaska is a perfect refuge for a lot of people who are just like, I like it to be chill, I like to be by myself, I like to have modern day things, but I don't want to see a lot of people while I do it. Alaska. Come check it out. I seriously can't recommend this place enough. I mean, I say that in the summer, once again. I don't know if I can handle a winter up here, but I honestly think Alaska might be the most misunderstood state in the Union. Because at least Hawaii, everybody goes to for vacations and tourist stuff. I'm not saying people don't come to Alaska, but I'll bet you the vast majority don't think of that one first. And then when you're lower 48, even if you're like Alabama, no offense Alabama, but nobody goes to Alabama really for a trip. But people go through you all the time because you exist physically contiguously. The territories are their own entity, as we've talked about before, but of the actual 50 states, I feel like Alaska got the weirdest deal.
We have a long time until our flight out, but unfortunately we had to check out of the hotel. So we check out this place. It's called the Lucky Wishbone. It's kind of a place near our hotel, and known for their fried chicken. So, like, normally you don't think like fried chicken when you come to Alaska, but it had very high ratings, and it looks really good. I just got some soup, and we both got like 2-piece meals with french fries.
That we did.
And kind of looking forward to trying this.
All right, so we just came out. What did we think?
I thought it was pretty solid, honestly. Best fried chicken? No, it was not, but it was very good. Fries I really liked. Served from school, it's kind of like a retro diner feel, and it's also very popular. The place is packed.
Yeah,
right
it got
now,
really
so,
busy as soon as we were leaving.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad lunch box.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. I've had better fried chicken, but I've had way worse. You could do worse. So, if you're up here, and you want some kind of cheap, decent, you know, southern style cooking, you could do worse. So we are now at ANC Airport, Ted Stevens. We didn't show it, but in between we killed it. We went to a couple more pawn shops, got some killer game deals and Blu-ray deals. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting to do so well on that stuff up here.
Yeah, it's honestly like, I think the second place that we went to, they severely miscalculated your receipt.
That by the time this video is out, there's an episode of Playload on my main channel where I've talked all about that. But yeah, long story short, I got a really good deal by accident. Anyway, doesn't matter. So now we got to go back. It's time to go to our native areas, if you will. And so we're going to go inside, check in, and wait for a very long time. We're talking like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And there's no United Lounge here. Okay, time to go through security. They have TSA pre-check here. Unfortunately, no clear lane. I think that'll change in a few years, man, as Anchorage gets more popular, but all good.
So unfortunately, as I mentioned before, United does not have a club lounge here, but Delta, to their credit, does. And they'll let anybody come use it as long as you pay for it, but I can't bring myself to do that because United loyalty plus, as I said, club membership. But yeah, props to Delta for that one. Hopefully, one day as this airport gets busier and bigger, United Club Lounge. Make it happen. We could have gone in here together, but no, now we cannot. See, look at these nice people. They get to go in, but I don't. So I've been here for a while. Rob fell asleep. So I've decided to stop at a place called Sushi on the Fly. And it looks like they got some pretty creative options. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Apparently they use actual crab up here, which makes sense, instead of imitation. And there we have it. The bear claw, or whatever, roll. We'll see how this goes. You can see inside there, it's a nice looking roll there. So we got crab, tempura, good stuff. By the way, this is a chain throughout Anchorage and I assume greater Alaska, but I've been here before. The Denali Pretzels and Coffee Co. Pretty good. I looked at their specials. I thought that looked crazy. That just reminded me, shout out to John Riggs, who's another fellow YouTuber who's in a few of these videos actually. But while I usually just do a black coffee, I went with the Sludge Cup Special. Drip coffee with espresso and toasted marshmallow flavor. I'm not sure I've ever felt the need to review a coffee for you guys, but wow, this is really something. We made it. Guess who's on my turf? It feels unnatural. We're at the dinosaur. I don't like that he's here. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we're going to, he's got a flight in like an hour and a half. I'm going to take him into the club lounge so he can relax. Did you enjoy Alaska?
I did. Let's do it again.
That's the plan. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the social media stuff for all the description, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, etc. Appreciate you guys as always. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all later.